Hi everyone, welcome to another day in a life off, and today we have sales enablement. We have Fabio from SoSafe, Eli from Ultimate. No, that's Nathan. Eli from Relative Insight, and then Nathan from Ultimate AI. With no further ado, I'll let my guests introduce themselves. So, how about Fabio? Tell me more about what you do, what SoSafe does.
Sure. So hi everybody. My name is Fabio, and I'm working in sales enablement at SoSafe. And SoSafe is a startup scale up from Cologne, and we're in the cybersecurity industry. And I've joined the company about 8 months ago, and I love to share a bit more on what we do.
Perfect. Yeah, we can't wait to hear it. Alice, what do we do at Relative Insight?
Yeah, I didn't know if Nathan was a nice new colleague for me. So I work as the VP of, we call it revenue enablement here. And Relative Insight is a text analytics software, also in scale up, Fabio. So we probably have a lot in common with the madness of the jobs that we can talk about.
Awesome. Can't hear about that madness in a second. Last but not least, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan. I'm in sales enablement for Ultimate. Ultimate provides AI for chat solutions like chatbots, that type of thing. Joined the company 7 months ago. We're also in scale up mode, so this is a jittery time for companies like ours.
It is. Great. For those who don't know me yet, my name is Mafalda. As I was talking with my guests before we start the recording, like the cartoon in Argentina, and my company is a sales enablement and training platform. With no further ado, Alith, how does your job look like in a day-to-day in a nutshell? So what do you do?
Yeah, I think probably like everyone else is going to struggle to say a day-to-day common theme.
Everyone I interview.
Yeah, not a thing. But I would say that the key responsibilities I have, one is onboarding, obviously scale up, that's very important. The other is working with RevOps for the management of the CRM and our tech stack. And the other one is ongoing training of the team. So obviously beautifully Wonderway fits into two of those categories. A very welcome addition. But yeah, I would say there was my three main areas of focus.
Great. Fabio, does it differ your day-to-day? Do you have anything to add?
Well, I would second that it's quite difficult to describe, as the tasks vary, not only in terms of tasks but also in terms of timing. So it really changes over the months and years. But in our case, RevOps is a dedicated function set aside from enablement. So our enablement is really focused only on sales. So we have a RevOps department that is not, we work closely with them, but not within the same organizational function.
How about you, Nathan? What do you have? Do you also have this RevOps integrator? Is it separate? What is it in your case?
Well, for me, it's actually kind of interesting because initially I worked directly for the VP sales. And that was just because we were hiring and onboarding quite a lot of salespeople, and we needed to be sure that they would rep to be able to work in a particular way. And we also introduced new sales processes, so needed to work much more closely with the sales leadership to make sure that we understand and are testing the process very quickly. But now I'm shifting to the RevOps team, so I'll be sales enablement will fall under RevOps on the other side of sales operations. At the moment, I'm doing a little bit of the sales operations because we're still waiting to hire that person. So I do a bit of enablement as well as the sales enablement bit. My day-to-day, I think, is pretty much what Ailey described. It's very difficult. I think the only thing that I would add that's different there is that at our company, it's also kind of important to try and align marketing and sales better.
Mm-hmm.
So this is also one of the things that I'm responsible for on a weekly basis, to try and make sure that marketing and sales have better alignment, that we're constantly monitoring what content we're using and how's that content doing, and where in the sales cycle are we using that content, blah, blah, blah. So
I think that's a very important topic. And also, if you start writing on Google, how do a line, and then it always completes with sales and marketing. So that's definitely a hot topic in our industry, right? What's success to you, Fabio? So what does success mean in your role?
So again, that alone is quite difficult to answer. I mean, success can be in the form of a positive feedback, right? It can be in forms of numbers. It can be short term. It can be long term. But maybe in the context of the topics we talked about in terms of onboarding, it would mean people who started newly, that they know exactly what to do, why to do it, in the right order. So they're ramped fast. They feel welcome. Then they feel equipped with the tools, the knowledge, the go-to ways. But then also people show they show that everything we do is kind of working for them and is having an impact, right? And I mean, I think we're probably going to talk a bit more on how do we measure all our great activities, and it's a tough one as well. But if we can put some sort of quantified value to what we do, that's also great success, I think. So move away from the qualitative, nice done, to the more quantitative data that shows us it's doing well.
On that note, how do you quantify? What's those quantified data? So what are the measurable KPIs that you can apply? Because for sales itself is quite easy, right? KPIs, but for enablement, which KPIs do you look at, Fabio?
Well, so I think that again will probably differ depending on who you ask. In terms of onboarding, we could talk about ramp time, obviously, but then also for that we need to have a kind of an understanding of what does that mean. Apart from okay, let's just say 2 months or 1 month. So having a defined ramp criteria and then working against that. It could also be like the content usage to make that really impactful, which would probably more on your side, Nathan. But otherwise, I mean, in our case, we work with OKRs. So we kind of derive measurements in terms of, do we align our focus priorities to the go-to-market goals and strategies, and make sure we align with that.
Yeah. Eilith, I saw a lot of nodding on your end. Would you like to build on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, but I obviously, well, from all of my nodding, you can see my world is very similar to what I'm hearing Fabio say. I think the only slight difference, and I think this is probably not a difference, it's probably the same, is that I would say I have consistent KPIs. So we have like the first Monday of every month is new starter day, and they have 3 weeks of onboarding, and it varies depending on what commercial team you're in, because I'm responsible for retention, customer team, marketing, everything, as well as sales. And then there's lots of exams throughout onboarding. And so one of my KPIs is for them to hit their ramp targets and pass all of their exams. So the knowledge as well as the ability to do it. But then I've also had to start having like a quarterly meeting with my boss, who's the CRO, where he sets like sprint KPIs for that quarter, because a business in this stage that all of our businesses sounds like they're in, you can't have set KPIs all of the time because the business priority will be different. So that's actually helped me a lot, because I think we'll talk about this later. It's so hard to prioritize things sometimes, because you could literally do anything to help the business make money. So I find sprint projects really helpful in this world.
How about you, Nathan? How do you see success in your role, and how is it measured?
Yeah, I think pretty much the same type of KPIs. I think one thing that we have been trying to really get right is to reduce the cost of our onboarding. Onboarding was all over the place. It was really expensive. It was time consuming. And at the end of it, it wasn't really delivering a ramped up salesperson in the time that we needed. I think it was taking a salesperson about 4.5 months on average to be able to first deal or to first opportunity, and this was just way too much time. So getting that right was, I think, important, and I think we have that more or less. We also have a quarterly focus, like with sprints as well, with things that come up. different priorities. We put them on the roadmap, and then different parts of the business would vote, and something that's been voted can then get onto the task, and we start working on that. So it can change from quarter to quarter. But having done the onboarding, I think the main next focus would be on our early stage process, like making the engagement more, the early stage engagement more wowy. That's the word we use, because that's tied to a certain conversion rate that we're trying to achieve in the early stages. So that is something that I'm working on now.
Yeah, great. In terms of, I know Ailith just mentioned some of the challenges, so we can move to that part. What's the main challenges you have, Ailith, besides the constant change? I can tell it's one of them.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for me is because I was always a salesperson in my career before I moved into sales enablement, and now I'm responsible for every other team in the revenue function. Everyone speaks a completely different language and everyone only knows their world. And we are often like the bridge or the glue, or we like to call ourselves Switzerland. We know everyone's side and no one's wrong. Everyone just has their own context. So they're furious with sales, or sales are furious with marketing.
Everyone is furious with sales, I feel.
Furious with sales, that's a given. One of the biggest challenges for us is we win if everyone speaks the same language and everyone understands everything, because the amount that it costs a business in time and man hours, with people just falling out across the business and not working cohesively is quite huge. So I'd say that can be a big challenge in what we do a lot of the time. But I think working across the team.
I saw, Fabio, you were smiling. Do you agree with Ailith?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was always thinking about it's alignment. It's alignment. That's the biggest challenge. I mean, there are a few, right? There's alignment with the leadership team, also getting their buy-in on the initiatives you drive, and get their understanding of what we actually do and why we do all these things. And yeah, there's just no time to work kind of against your own people, right? And that leads to that can't happen. So to getting an alignment with the leadership team on what needs to be done and why. It's a big challenge, but a very important one. But maybe another comment on the first thing you mentioned, the constant change. To be honest, that was my biggest challenge when I started, because I was lost in this jungle of possible endeavors and things we can do. You know, there's so much we can do, but to navigate through that was really difficult. So to not feel lost anymore, the quarterly goals, the OKRs, really helped to really put a focus on and narrow it down a bit more. And that paired with alignment and speaking the same language with leadership really helped to establish the function as well within the company. Not only my place in it, but also the function as a whole was really helpful. I'm not sure how about you, Nathan, if you have something else.
No, it's the same struggle. Getting people to speak the same language is the same struggle. What I've done with that is try to establish a cadence committee so that I'm not the only one driving the, let's speak the same language, let's do that. So the cadence committee, marketing sits on it, sales leadership sits on it, the business development sits on it. So that then becomes the forum where, the go-to-market organization talks about the different initiatives they want to come up with, the different campaigns, and it becomes like the campaign management office, so to speak, or something like that. So that makes my job a little bit easier. Then I just have to be a moderator, like, a peacekeeper between the different tribes, which is a much better position to be in than to be the one trying to pull everybody to, say, hey, let's do X because of X.
Yeah. I agree. I think having also a common goal and understanding how each part plays to the goal and how it works with one another is definitely a challenge, but super important. Alignment, as Fabio said.
Yes. Alignment is the elusive goal.
No, totally agree. And how do you, Nathan, still on that? So how do you get new ideas on how to achieve your goals, and how do you get inspiration? Where did you get new information in order to get better at your job every day?
I steal a lot from anyone and everyone.
So do I.
Like we have we have this day in the life thing as well, similar to this, where we have an ideal customer profile that we've defined, but a lot of us in our company have never worked in customer support actually, and these are the people that we're selling to. So we have a day in the life, similar series like this, where we invite people in the support world so that our salespeople can talk to them and try to
Oh, that's
understand
amazing.
how would you sell to this person, etc., etc. And this is something that I stole. I may even have stolen it from you. So
I'm
I
flattered.
steal.
Like, I see it, I'm honored. If people steal things from me, I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, I'm horrible.
And
then I
besides
have a
that,
mentor. I think that helps. Yeah.
yeah. And do you read, or do you have like a favorite blog, or do you have a favorite place where you steal your ideas from?
Yes, I think I follow the Sales Enablement podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He has quite a few cool people on that. And then I also just do the HBR podcast as well, just to listen to founders, entrepreneurs, or business problems, and that pushes me in a direction somehow, somewhere. And yeah, I also do a call with a sales enablement person once a month, mainly in Germany, but once a month on a Friday, where we just do a liquid lunch or something, and then we just spitball. So that helps as
Actually,
well with the
Fabio
continuation.
did that as well, right? So that's how me and Fabio met a couple of months ago. He was also looking for a couple of ideas, right, Fabio?
Yeah, I still do that. I mean, you call it the liquid lunch or the virtual coffee. I think it's a great idea to exchange with fellows, right, who are in a similar position, who share same challenges, who maybe even have done that before and can provide you with the solution on how to deal with it. And I feel like the more I talk to people, we all are in the same boat, right? We all share the same challenges, the same ideas, the same struggles, and also pleasures of the job. So, and I feel like this also contributed to my LinkedIn being a very small sales enablement bubble now, which helps to exchange. Yeah, for sure. I still do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And look, that's how we met. So I absolutely believe in these kind of connections, and that's what also LinkedIn is here for. And what else, Fabio? How do you get updated? How do you steal ideas from other people? How do you learn for your job?
Yeah, so stealing is definitely also part of my job when it comes to that. So, yeah, there's a lot of good content out there, not only from the dedicated places like the SEC or certain folks who post a lot about sales enablement. Much of it comes from the US, I feel, or the UK. So I feel like they are a step ahead, definitely, and there's so much more room for us in Germany to catch up and yeah, learn from them. But then also, again, a lot of it's actually trial and error as well. So doing and kind of monitoring what works and what doesn't work as well. So becoming a bit more data driven in sales enablement really helps as well to make sure that what you're doing is the right thing or not the right thing, and then stop doing it or continue doing it. So it's a bit of a both.
Yeah. How about you, Alice? How do you get ideas for your job?
Well, I think that they're from internal and external. So I think similarly, I agree, like networking on LinkedIn and asking questions, like someone will know the answer. And like Fabio's exactly correctly said, and what's very clear is we all have the same struggles and are dealing with the same stuff in this job. I'm also a member of the Sales Enablement Society, which I really, really rate. It's obviously like a free membership, but they do an annual sales enablement report to show the state of play. And it will show what different organizations, as long as you take part in the survey yourself, you get the report for free. So I've been doing that for years.
I was about to ask you, how do I get the report?
Yeah,
all right.
Got to be a participant, or I'll just share it. Is that allowed? Can I say that? Probably.
Oh well, too late.
Too late. I'm recorded now. But it's amazing. Like it's honestly, it basically just shows what businesses are prioritizing and how they're measuring it and what's making businesses more money. So yeah, you can like businesses will make X more money if they implement this type of strategy in sales enablement. So every year that's like my go-to Bible when it gets released. So I go through that and get some ideas. And then I think also every company sits on such a wealth of data that I'm constantly doing a win-loss analysis. And like Nathan's saying, testing the ICP is still correct. And actually our highest average order value still exists there and our lowest churn rate. So I think that's why I love working so closely with ops. Obviously, Mafalda, you know our ops manager, because we spend more time together than I probably spend with my husband. And we all
I think
we
that's
do
a common problem in our jobs, right?
yeah, luckily it's Lissy, so it works. But yeah, the amount of data and information that exists within our CRM that we can use to train the team is massive. So we use that a lot as well.
Yeah. Amazing. Good. So we are almost in the end. I always have the feeling every time I do this that I have loads of questions to ask everyone, but all of my guest speakers are always extremely busy, and so am I. So I unfortunately will go through the last question of today's episode, which is I will share with you a prospecting email that was written to your persona. Obviously, company names are all anonymous because we are not here to shame anyone, just to get the real live feedback from the persona. So I will share the email. I will read as well. And here we go. So, hi, Fabio or Nathan or Ailey. Do you know what skills each rep in your team should focus on to increase revenue? Many sales enablement managers don't have time to analyze all the data and prepare individual training for each of the sales reps according to their needs. Due to this, it's also difficult to prove enablement ROI. Are you facing the same challenge? If yes, let's discuss it further. Best, John. So, who would like to go first? Fabio, Nathan, Ailith?
Ooh.
Nathan, go.
What would have been the subject for the email that I'd see in my inbox?
Good question. The head of sales asked me exactly the same question when I showed the email. Let's say it's enablement ROI. That's the subject title. I don't know. I'm inventing it. Just because I like short subject titles, that's why I'm saying that.
No, cool. The reason I asked that is just because that will determine whether I'll open the email. I like
And if
its
you open the
brevity.
email.
Yes, if I open the email, I like its brevity. It's relatively short. It's to the point. It's to the point, and the ask is very simple. It's very clear as well. The only difficulty here for me would be it doesn't let me know what price I'll be paying to engage with this, because I want to know, is this going to be 15 minutes? It's going to be 20 minutes? It's going to be an hour? Because if time is money, it's not just something I give away without knowing how much. So that could be something that would be useful to add for me.
Absolutely. Very nice. How about you, Fabio? What's your opinion?
Yeah, so now that I had a little bit more time to think, thanks, Nathan, I can give you an answer. So generally, it's not bad. I like it as well. It's concise, it's short, it's well spaced, so it's kind of friendly to read on a mobile or on a screen. The only thing that I'm missing is kind of a one-sentence summary of what they do. Right? Really quick, simple language. We've built a platform that does X and solve Y. So here I'm a little bit lost. I don't know what they do. So I also am not sure how to reply. Should I reply?
Yeah.
Usually what I would do is like, well, it might sound interesting. Tell me what you do in like really simple language. And oftentimes they can't express the value proposition in a very simple way. And then I was like, well, then no, I'm probably out. So this would be the only thing. Otherwise it's easy to read. It's good language. It's not super fluffy. They hit the nail with proving an enablement ROI. It's a big pain, so maybe they also read the landscape report Ailey was talking about. But yeah, this is one piece that's kind of missing for me.
Makes sense. Ailey.
Yeah, I would say actually Fabio took the words out of my mouth, that I think like and might just be because obviously we spend so much time training people on how to write emails. We look for certain things in sales emails all of the time.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
I feel like John is just, if John sent me this, he's correct. This is something that I'm struggling with, but he's not giving me anything. He's he's asking me questions and telling me problems I've got, and then saying, let's discuss it further, like almost like a demand. Whereas he hasn't given me anything, like exactly as Fabio said. Like for me, and I think this is because I'm really fussy about call to actions, just to say, if yes, let's discuss it further. I'm like, hang on. Like, why should I discuss it further with you? You haven't given me any reason to discuss it further with you, because exactly as Fabio said, like, I don't know what you do, John. You sound lovely, but like
you've done your homework, you just didn't finish it.
Yeah, that's exactly my problem. But I don't have a solution to talk to you about because you haven't said anything. So,
all right. Well, thank you so much. I never give opinions here about the emails. I don't correct them either. So just for you to know why I'm not giving you my opinion on this, because I think the persona should be the one sharing with the world what they think. So Ailey, Nathan, Fabio, thank you so much for joining me today. This was super useful. I'm sure people who will be listening to this also find the same. So I hope, I hope you connect soon. For everyone else, we have more episodes after this one about a day in the life of a CEO, CFO, head of quality assurance, and account executive. Just name it. If we are not tackling one role that you really would like to know about, just send me a message on LinkedIn. I'll be more than happy to hear which roles you'd like me to interview, and also which questions you'd like me to ask as well. So thank you once again to the three of you, and chat to you soon.